It is a new day, a new week, a new month, and one more person that apparently is going down the drain into irrelevance and obscurity. Good evening, ladies and gents, my name is Kelzo and I'm DiscussThing. And if you enjoy my channel, my content and want to watch more, click the subscribe button, click the join button and become one of the DiscussThing guild members and enjoy all the perks. And if you want to support me in other ways and my campaign to save homeless animals, click the links in the description below. Today I want to talk about something that I was never going to imagine talking about even in my wildest dreams. First of all, it came from a person that I personally didn't know that he actually has a YouTube channel, and I only knew him from the fact that he created the God of War series. And I love the God of War series. They were amazing. Like, even the God of War 2018 was an amazing experience to play. Still haven't played Ragnarok, but I've watched some clips and it's amazing as well. But what transpired over the last few days really left me absolutely baffled, and it showed me the exact life timeline of someone who nuked their entire career, presence and possible future in the gaming industry, or at least the internet content creator industry. I'm talking, of course, about David Jaffe. Now, David Jaffe, apart from what I said just now that he's the creator of the God of War series and Twisted Metal franchise, he is apparently a YouTuber, and I took a look at his YouTube channel before making this video, throughout the whole day actually, and saw some of his videos up to a few months ago. I wanted to see exactly what is happening and if it's a recent thing or if it's just a absolute meltdown right there in the moment. And what I discovered is a little confusing, to say the least, but I'll get to that in a minute. First of all, I want to tell you what's happening. So David Jaffe decided to attack gamers as a whole, blaming them essentially for the failure of Dragon Age Veilguard, and of course calling them with that all-loving word that we all know and know that it's not being used properly, grifters. Now, grifters in an essence are people that are trying to essentially con other people, to deceive them, to take advantage of them through deceitful means. And this is what the meaning of the word has always been. Now, this word has been used by a lot of woke people who have appropriated the term in order to just think of new ways to try and insult actual gamers and actual fans of the gaming world. They used to call us all the ists, all the phobes, all everything, but when that didn't work, because it was proven time and time again that actually the words that they're using are describing themselves and not the actual gamers, they switched to some other words that they could find when just searching the first few pages of the dictionary, and grifters was one of them, because probably it's a G and it's one of the earlier letters in the alphabet. So David Jaffe had a lot to say about the grifters, and he also had a lot to say about content creator Veradark, who I follow and enjoy her content a lot because she's extremely calm when she talks on camera and she's pretty precise on everything that she says. However, that doesn't seem to be the case according to David Jaffe, and I'll get to that in a minute as well. But I first want to play you this clip from Stuttering Craig. This is from a Side Scrollers stream with Veradark, where they looked at a clip from David Jaffe in which he explains some pretty interesting stuff that I want to comment on.
When you say that the gaming community ruined this game's success, I mean, you know, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. If you're EA, you've got to kind of prepare for the market winds that you're sailing into and all that. And so they should have been prepared to counter, and they weren't. Really, at this point,
I don't know what he means to counter, and I don't know what he means that the gaming community ruined the game. He'll try to explain it in a minute.
All that gaming community that you're talking about has done is they've made it so they've actually made games worse.
There is something that is truly troubling about what he just said. Now, this is a direct attack to the entire gaming community, because he's saying that the gaming community, the people who buy the games, play the games and leave their personal opinions about the games, are the ones who ruin the games. In an essence, to me, that sounds, you can buy the game, you can play the game, but don't talk about the game. Leave that to the professional reviewers. You're nobody. You don't have to have an opinion and just have to sit quietly, play and enjoy the product, pretty much regurgitating the message that has been passed around from these gaming companies, these professional journalists and all of that. They don't like when people have an opinion, especially they don't like people who know what they're talking about. People like Veradark, people like a lot of other YouTubers have played Dragon Age the Veilguard through its entirety, and they have left some pretty harrowing comments. What David Jaffe is trying to say, in my opinion, is that if you talk about a video game independently and have a freedom of thought, there is a risk that you might not like the absolute piece of shit that they're promoting you. So when you talk about it, the game might look bad, especially if you have a lot of following. And this is explained right now.
Which is what they say they're trying to not do.
Yeah, sure.
Vera, did you know you've made games worse?
I do apparently know that I've made games worse simply for having my own opinion
Exactly.
in live streaming video games, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
What? Stop
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
They're doing the same thing, but different opinions. So, which apparently only one type of opinion is allowed in this world, which is pretty oppressive, especially when you're talking about the internet and how freedom of speech is something that is a world thing right now, and it's trying to be everywhere.
But yes, you're making, and we're making games worse.
We're all shit together.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
right. We're just doing our best to make games worse. Which,
Exactly.
which is fine.
But people like him are making games better, surely.
That's right. That's right. Why do you need to make games great again when you have colossal failures over and over and over again?
Right.
It's
We
crazy.
love Concord.
Yeah, we definitely quote Mark's love Concord.
Bitch. All right, let's continue here.
Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that for whatever reason people respond.
The charismatic grifters is one of my favorite lines that I've heard so far, and he is talking about Veradark because he has explained in an article that she has the looks, she looks beautiful, she has the hair and everything, and she's just a pretty face that is on the screen, and that's why people listen to her. Basically imagine, hey Coach, you're a woman, eh? And I'm a man, so leave the YouTubing stuff on the man himself. Don't worry your pretty face about it. Just go and post for a nap and make sure the dinner's ready by the time I got home, honey. Okay, Toots? Good, good. That's a good wife. And I continue.
To.
Allow me to respond to that here, David. Horrible parent Jaffe. The reason
Oh yeah, he also apparently has a trans kid, and some people are saying that that's why he's so defending of that. I don't know, I'm not getting into that, I'm not touching that with a 15-meter pole.
why people respond to it is because we're honest about
Exactly.
it. And people like honesty and authenticity. And you, friend, are the one who is incredibly out of touch with everything that's happening with the customer. Whereas people...
Exactly. That's pretty much it. Like, in an essence, people like Veradark, Stuttering Craig, me, Smash JT, Nerdrodic, everyone that you can see on YouTube talking about entertainment and games, we're basically people who pretty much do sit behind the camera with a microphone, with our headphones and everything, and we just say what we have to say. Honestly, we don't get paid by companies. We don't get paid to say specific lines and to just push a narrative. We just have an opinion that probably happened throughout the day, or just we watch something, we go see a movie, we play a game, and we form the opinion. And the only difference between us and gamers who don't do that is that we do that. Like, we just go online and just post our opinions and say them in front of a video. We upload the video on the social medias, on YouTube, and people watch it. And when people watch something so authentic and so unscripted, to say the least, they seem to find it better to cater to it, to have it speak to them, and to agree with them if that speaks to their own personal views of the matter. And it has gotten to a point that channels like, again, Veradark, Stuttering Craig, Nerdrodic, these people, Smash JT, Hypnotic, Dr. Disaster, we're just being honest, you know? We're not doing some outlandishly scripted settings with professional TV studios and everything. Most of us are just like in our room. This is my room. I sleep here. I don't even have any soundproofing, and I'm just doing this on my old gaming chair and in front of my computer, in front of my camera that I've had for the last 8 years. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't have any specific technologies to make it better, but I'm honest, and that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be honest and to just express my opinion. It helps me and it's fun, and people are seeing that. People that watch these videos are seeing that, and they connect because it's a form of honesty that they're seeing on something of a show, and they don't see only actors playing and acting on a TV screen with a script that they have to follow. And that's exactly what connects YouTubers like us with our audience. Honesty is the best glue to bind these things together, and that's why so many channels are exploding and are getting much more traction than even TV stations in some aspect. But let's get to this article from Fanapulse. I digressed again, but I just needed to say what I said. God of War creator melts down and spazzes out after Veradark roasts him. Now, Veradark did indeed roast him regarding what he has been saying, and he did not take that lightly. So what she said is that Jaffe is salty that average people can take to social media and voice their opinion, and he's getting angry that companies may start to actually listen to gamers after the multiple failures they've had over the years. I don't know how many times I have said that over the last few months since I've started doing YouTube again, but yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen. We are the audience, we're the people that need to be listened to because we are the ones that are playing the game. Who else is playing? Are those companies that invest or that post your paid articles play the games? No, they're like 5 people and none of them has played the game. You have millions and millions of people out there that are waiting anxiously each year to be entertained, and you're failing them. The gaming companies are failing them, and that's what she's saying, and she's completely right. And now of course he's blaming YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard when it simply was a trash game. It was on many levels. There's also an explanation that he did make a video several months ago, but that was connected to the Trump assassination attempt, which is a bit more political, and I don't want to get into that because I stay away from politics as much as possible. Here we go to the definition of a grifter, which Veradar commented on one of Jaffe's clips, and he said that I've never defined grifter as that, which is someone sitting online talking about games. Yeah, but a lot of people have, because that's what they identify a grifter as. And a grifter is someone who makes money off people by lying to them. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of companies and a lot of reporters have been grifters for quite some time, especially news articles. And then we got to a quote that said, "You just don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do this. You're in that chair there because of your hair and your face and your gender." And that's fine, by the way. There's no problem with that. I don't deny anyone making money and building an anonymous audience of the things that they've got. But let's be clear, so far my encounters with you online, you're a mental lightweight. And that's fine. People have all kinds of. You know what I'm bad at? I'm bad at math. I don't know exactly what he tried to accomplish with that comment, but it wasn't received very well. Like, he was basically just diminishing her down to her being a beautiful woman, which is so demeaning that he tried to deny her entire agency just on the fact that she's a woman. And because she's that, she doesn't have anything smart to say, according to him, whereas Veradark is one of the very, very good channels out there. And I don't know what he's saying, but she's much better than him in any case. And all of this led me to just checking out his channel a bit, because I wanted to know exactly what happened with him. And I went down and watched some clips from around three or 4 months ago. One of the things that struck me as interesting is that he reacted to, is this gaming screen just opening? And this was a clip that he reacted to a post when Dustborn was announced and released that clip. He was extremely neutral on that, but it was so much forced neutrality. Like, you could just see that he wanted to say something a bit more attacking of that clip, but he didn't. He was stopping himself all the time. Same thing with this clip, which is called Screen Red Black Meat Wukong. I'm so confused, are you? This is the absolute trash article by Screen Red that included a negative score that's lacking of diversity. And he actually addressed that, constantly saying that the writer of the article has a right to express their own opinions, that they didn't see much inclusivity up until chapter 2, mind you. And he did address that. But again, it was such a forced neutrality on him. It's like he was kind of swinging both ways, if you know what I mean, just trying to be so in the middle as to not offend any side at all, which I would respect if that was your personal true nature and you just want to talk about video games without leaning to each and every one side. I do feel I'm kind of like that, even though I'm talking a lot about anti-woke stuff and the things that make me a grifter, an atheist, and a phobe, but that's because it is connected to what I am passionate about, and that is good gaming, and I don't like to see bad gaming, and I at least want to see gaming betrayed. That's why I'm saying those things. And the last thing that I saw was pretty funny. I don't know if you see it now, and I'm gonna show it in just a second, but he basically flipped his switch in a span of 2 videos. So I watched a portion of this clip, and I won't be saying anything strong because I didn't watch the entire clip, but in the first minute he basically heavily says that Star Wars Outlaws is not worth buying, and then in the beginning of this clip, which is called If You Still Love Star Wars, Outlaws is For You, he's saying that it is good for Star Wars fans. So I don't know what's happening with him. I truly don't. It's like he's absolutely trying to figure out where he stands on the matter, and he's being constantly pulled over to one side, and he's not being bothered by the other, but he's like a new recruit in a gang that they want to have no matter what, and they're constantly indoctrinating him. I do think that if I see some of his older videos, it's going to be a little more natural neutrality, that he's simply talking about the video games and nothing else. He did have also several Sweet Baby Inks, including one where he kind of tried to apologize for his remarks that Sweet Baby Inc. is actually a good company and that he received a lot of information, and it was still so forced for him to not say anything that would explicitly attack SBI and just play it off in the safest of fields, which again, if that is your natural state and you just don't want to get mixed in any of that and to just be absolutely neutral and focus on whatever it is you want to focus, then all the power to you. But it's not like that, because David Jaffe does reviews of games, does playthroughs, does post opinions, and his videos are very much opinions on something that he reads or something that he sees. And that means that inevitably he has to have a stand on it. And being neutral is still considered to be what we were being called right-wing grifters and whatever, because being neutral doesn't satisfy the activists that are trying to push the narrative. You're either with them or you're against them. And if you're trying to be neutral, then you're against them. And I think he kind of realized that. And I don't know exactly when this began, if it existed always with him to try and go after YouTubers like that and post those unhinged comments. It's still just a pretty huge mess in my head, because there's a lot there to uncover, and I think that this story is going to expand a lot more. I personally think that he wasn't in the right space when he said the things about Very Dark and about the gamer grifters, but that's just my opinion, and I don't know what's going to come out from him next. All I know is that at the current moment he basically nuked his entire online presence with that, because on the other side, if that's how you want to look at things, nobody will be waiting for him. Nobody will support him, because just like we saw with Dustborn, with Concord, when you cater to activists, they don't actually show up for your support later. They just leave you hang out to dry and they're just in their own little bubbles. That's what happened with the games that were released this year. That's what happened with Dragon Age the Veilguard. That's what's happening with Star Wars Outlaws. That's what's going to happen to Avowed. That's what happened to Rings of Power. And that's what's going to happen to any further shows that appear. Because when you cater to people who don't have the passion for what you're trying to sell them, you won't receive any support. Neither financial, neither moral, neither vocal, nothing. You just be catering to a black hole that doesn't give anything back and sucks all the money and all the attention and doesn't provide you with anything in return to help you. I'm sure that gaming companies and entertainment studios will completely realize that in the following year or two, but until then we'll just have to stay strong and continue to just post our opinions, be brave, be vocal, and don't let up, because this is the fight and the fight is good. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you have stayed up until this long in the video, if you enjoy my content, click the like, click on the subscribe button, and click the join button to become a member and support my channel directly. And if you want to support my cause in helping homeless animals and animals in shelters, click on the Patreon link down in the description below. Follow me on my socials, comment on the videos, contact me on X so we can discuss different topics, whatever you like, and stay around for more content. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kelso, this was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.